All right, welcome everybody. It's the 5th of November, and this is the Team Aim for Change call, and the topic is the toolbox for your success. And so I started chatting about this tonight on the Emerald City webinar about how we have so many tools and we don't always use them all, and sometimes it can be a little bit chaotic when you're trying to utilizing them all. So I'm going to just summarize some things for you to be sure that you know about them. So I'm going to be starting a little bit of a presentation and going off of this. Don't have to stare at my face. Okay, so as I said, this is the Team Aim for Change toolbox call. And so one of the quotes that I found today thinking about, how to demonstrate this presentation is, it's not about how low you fall, but how quickly and often you optimize that counts. And so a lot of times as coaches, we think that we need this extravagant story, we need this extravagant downfall to be successful, and that's not actually true. If we optimize and utilize the tools that we have, we can be successful in that as well. So contact and connect. How are we going to be able to contact and connect with people? Our tools would be our social media. Facebook, we can utilize stories, posts, messenger, pages, groups, events, polls. Instagram, the same thing. Email, text, calling. I'm not very good at that. And Zoom calls. Those are the basics. Sharing. If you do not open the doors to a storefront business, it will never be successful. By posting, we open our doors to our business. And so for those that are fearful of sharing this journey or posting your day-to-day life, how are we going to be successful if we're not going to be sharing what we do? And it's simply as that. If we don't unlock the door to what we have to offer, then we physically are never going to be successful. And that's not what we want. We're in this business to be successful. So posts. We can see some cuties up there, Kelsey, Denise, Chris. We want to make sure that we're posting daily about our life, daily life, workouts, not all workouts, but workouts, product use, and I put in parentheses without names, because we want to create this curiosity marketing for our followers. We don't want them to know all of the information and be able to Google it and then order it and then end up with a coach that they don't know. Food posts, healthy food posts, or actually maybe we can post about our crappy food posts and say how bad we are in a day's worth. But call to action posts, invite, passive and active. We're going to get in a little bit of detail about that tonight. And recognition. These are all things that we should be posting about regularly. So you don't want your whole entire feed or story to be all about your workouts or all about products, right? We want to keep it a variety and keep people engaged and interested. I put a little thing at the end here, apps for pics and videos, just some examples of apps that work for me. Some people might have others, and you can type them in the comments.
Olivia, we don't see a slideshow.
Are you serious?
No.
Oh my gosh. So sorry. That's okay. Going back.
Okay.
Thank you, Denise. It didn't click.
That's okay.
Sorry. All right. Well, now you'll see yourself, Denise. Hold, please. There you are. And Kelsey and Chris. So I just pulled some examples of posts from Instagram today. In these here in the corner are the apps that I have utilized. And if you have any that you have utilized and had success with, comment here in Zoom. Photo collage, pick, play, post, Snapseed, Hype Type, Word Swag. Some of these things were free and then have transitioned into paying apps, but I highly suggest that you can find free apps that can work for you. Cut Story, Triller, Legend, etc. Connecting. So what do we do with those posts that we've put out there, right? Those who comment, like, and follow our stories, That's your audience opening their arms to welcoming a conversation with you. So I just posted, for instance, yesterday I had reposted a video that I had posted from my wedding, and I had 59 people comment on it and like it and all these things. And I should be going in and messaging them, utilizing my messenger and sending out, whether that be thank you or reconnecting, re-engaging with them. Majority of the time I open up somebody's messenger thing that I've had a message with before, and I go, oh my gosh, I completely forgot to message them back, right? It's crazy. So this is an opportunity to be able to go back and utilize those people. If they're watching your stuff, they're interested. So like I said, utilize Facebook Messenger, Instagram, text. You can utilize all of those things. So maybe they don't answer you on Facebook Messenger. Go over to Instagram, find them on Instagram. Most likely they'll check it there. If you have their text, just send them a text. It's so much quicker. Comment back to every comment on your post, as this creates your post to be popular and show more often in the timeline. That's just the algorithm, and that's always changing, so I can't guarantee that. Go back, for those that maybe don't respond to your messages, go back into their posts and see what they're up to and like some of their stuff, because then that's going to create the connection on social media so that they see your things. Okay. Tracking. So I'm always changing my tracking. And so there's different variations of how to be able to track what you're doing. You want to give yourself credit for your job, what you're doing, right? You want to be able to show that this is what I did on this day, and I want to be able to go back and see, oh, I talked to this person, but what did I talk to them about? So we can use good old notebook, pen and paper. I've created a new little system, and that's that box up in the corner is just note cards. So every note card on there has a name. My Connection Builder is a paid service that some people are utilizing. Chris, Unique, Denise, are you? Yeah. I tried it, I started it, and I think what happened was I loaded too many people's names in there, and it got overwhelming, and I kind of shut off. But again, it's a paid service, so you have to make that commitment to your business. Other ways to go around setting reminders would be utilizing a calendar. Asana is a to-do app, so it can create lists and send you notifications in your email, which is kind of nice. And then Remember the Milk, RTM, is another one of those types of to-do list apps that creates like notifications for, you know, for instance, I could type in there, follow up with X, Y, and Z on this date, and it'll show up on that date. So that's another way of doing it. It's really specific to what works for you. Okay, inviting. So I talked about passive versus active inviting. A lot of people will put a post out there and, you know, it doesn't make the follower or the person do anything. And so post that invite without making them do anything to create the connection is a passive post. An active post has a call to action. You must do this to get this, or you must apply to be a part of this. That's an active invitation, active post. Another way to be sure that you're actively inviting is through Messenger. You need to actually send out a message to these people and be sure that they see it. What I found was during the crazy Facebook shenanigans where they were getting hacked and safety issues, people weren't seeing my event invites, and I was getting really frustrated because I was like, oh my gosh, all this time I've been sending them, and no wonder why I don't get as many challenges as I'd want, because they're not even seeing it. The notifications aren't popping up. So I took it upon myself, when I make these lists of people, you know, for the week, that I send out a direct message and leaving the end of the message stating, did you see my event invite on there? And if they didn't, there's a way to be able to go into the event invite and send it directly to them. Perfect. That way you know that they get it, and that way you can follow up with them. So Google Forms, anybody on here that has utilized Google Forms? Google Forms, Google Forms. Awesome. So Google Forms are, a great way to have an application process and create this sense of urgency and want to be a part of something. And if they don't apply, then they can't take part. So Google Forms, simple. I just type in Google Forms into Google and it pulls up a screen, and it saves them all in there. So you can edit them, you can delete the applications, do what you need to as you need to, but it's another great way to track your people. So I had probably like 25 applicants to my November project. Not all of them committed, but I got all of their information. I got all of their goals. I have all of their information about, what they were interested in, whether that be Energize, Shakeology, whatever it was. And I can go back now. I can go back and say, hey, I know we didn't commit to the November project, but I've got a group starting in December. Or I can go back and invite them to my free group. So it's a great way to kind of create the follow-up process. Instagram, there is a Linktree account that you can create. That is a whole nother type of training, but know and understand that in your Instagram description, you can create a Linktree account. So Kelsey has one, I have one, Denise probably has one. You can go into our accounts and see how we create these applications. We put Google Forms in there. We put, links to videos. You can put all sorts of things into this Linktree, and that creates a call to action that you can utilize as well. Understand that inviting somebody should open up an educational process for them. So educating them on all of that we have, in detail. It's not just at-home workouts. It's not just Shakeology. You have to dig for what they need and what their process is in learning what these things are, these products are. They need to know every single bit and piece, and that's our job and our duty to provide this service for them of education. So my next slide is going to be about education. So some of us have websites that we utilize that provide us with links and videos, and some people go, well, I don't have that website, so I guess I can't really do it. No. There's other things. There's other tools that we can utilize. Chris has made Team Aim for Change groups on Facebook about specific products. Okay, if we start asking our potential customers questions, they have questions about Shakeology, they have questions about the specific products, we have some of these Snoop groups that we can just put them into. And let me tell you, Chris monitors who goes in those groups. So she knows who's inviting to these specific educational tools. So Shakeology, I had somebody go into that and watched all the videos, all the posts about Shakeology, and she came out of it and was like, wow, that's amazing. I wouldn't have been able to do that. I wouldn't have been able to educate them as much as the tools that we have provided in these groups or even in videos that Beachbody provides. So we also have an inside look to our team. So potential coaches should be invited to see that inside look to our team to understand and educate them about what it entails. We don't want them to go into this blindly. We want them to be prepared. YouTube is a great resource for information and quick links that we can send, but be sure that any video that you send is from Team Beachbody. And the reason I say that is because you could send a similar video from another coach that then throws their link in there and they go and order, not realizing it's not yours. And you don't want somebody's order to go into somebody else's coach account and then it be a whole process of having to fix it. It's fixable, but let's try to avoid it. The back office, so our online office tool has educational information about product tool guides. So if we need to go in there and, somebody has a question that you're like, oh, I don't really know, you can always find the information somewhere, guys. You have to look. You have to utilize it. Success stories I have used for education by Beachbody. Again, there's some on YouTube. They have some on the back office as well. And then there's Share a Cart. So Share a Cart, again, is another education tool that we can utilize for our customers. Sending them exactly what they would be getting is a service that we provide, as well as there's information in that cart to give them more information about what they'll be receiving and what they'll be getting. So the follow-up. Oh, the dreadful follow-up. So again, if you have that MCB, it creates, so an MCB is the generator for your business, your follow-up for your business. How are you going to create that process for yourself? I have posted, and I'll show you in a little bit, my 7-day follow-up process that I'm utilizing that's been working well. But you have to figure out what's good for you. What I realized during this past month was follow-ups does not mean for only those that are interested in purchasing. Bum, bum, bum. I didn't know that. I thought that was the only type of follow-up there was. We need to follow up with them for their life. We need to follow up with them to see how they're doing. Follow up to the event invite that you sent. Did they actually see it? Facebook, people aren't seeing it. I'm going to be honest. So again, you've got to make sure you're following up with them. Follow up because life can get busy. Most likely these people aren't answering you because they forgot that they opened it and they saw it and life got crazy. It happens. They will appreciate you as a service, a person of service, if you follow up rather than forget about them, right? So how can you follow up? Utilize Facebook, utilize Instagram, text, email, call, connect with them on their page, like I said. You can like a photo, comment on a post that they've done, etc. It's going to spark an idea in their head for them to go, oh, she sent me a message and I completely forgot to answer. So many times in a day I get, oh my gosh, that didn't send to you. I'm so sorry. No big deal. Don't get hard feelings because they're not responding. Things happen. Again, following up, you can use share a cart to be able to say, hey, did you receive this cart? And my rule of thumb is the 24, 72, 1 week, 1 month rule. So 24 hours goes by, you send them a message and saying, hey, did you see what I sent you, X, Y, and Z? So for instance, I've been sending out messages about my events. Did you see that event invite that I sent you? Did you check it out? If they respond and they say, no, I didn't, you can send them the message. They might ghost you, give it 72 hours. You can send another message if you want. Hey, I know life can get crazy. By any chance, did you have an ability to look at that post? I really don't want you to miss out on this. They might ghost you again. Put them to your 1 week follow-up. Put them to your next month follow-up. You don't want to involve and dive into something that's going to pull and suck all your energy out of you. You want to make sure that you have enough energy for the people that are really interested in wanting to be with you on this journey. Challengers. So we can utilize Facebook groups, which is kind of the rule of thumb that we've all been kind of trained to do. I, myself, Denise, we've kind of been steering away from them. I find that Facebook groups are people are getting so many notifications these days, guys, and they're not checking their Facebook like they used to. It's so overpowered with advertisements and scams and just craziness. So people aren't really utilizing Facebook as much anymore. So that could be a negative downfall for you. So my Challenge Tracker app is basically a Facebook version for Beachbody that creates a timeline of just the people that are in your group. And that's an option also for you to utilize. It's an app for your phone, your iPad. Yes. Sorry, guys. I'm getting starfish delivered to me. I've never had this before. Not starfish, starfruit. So my Challenge Tracker app is an app on your phone, on your iPad, but the only way the coach that's setting it up can access it is through the portal, which is on the website. There's the nutrition app that has the ability to log in to Be Mindset or Portion Fix. Zoom calls, getting started right Zoom calls. We're on one right now. What a great opportunity for them to be able to utilize a face-to-face interaction rather than the messages. In that way, it's creating this idea of, oh, they really mean business. They really, really want to get personal with me rather than just the transaction and honestly, I do Zoom calls to explain what we do as, with Beachbody and at-home workouts. I use Zoom calls as much as I possibly can to create the realistic connection and relationship rather than the, I say fake one or social media one. On demand, there is also a blog in there that's helpful for our challengers, the ones that are a little bit nerdy and like science. We should be utilizing those tools, right? We can utilize those tools in our groups. The National Wake Up Call talked today a lot about a virtual gym group, if anybody caught that today. And she talked about how she's using the blog for like a lot of her posts. She's just kind of creating them in developing them. And I kind of tool with that a little bit too, in the sense that I like to use the I don't know, the science, like the science facts of it. Right now there's an actual science tab, but before I was just kind of, oh, hydration blog post. Oh, I'll take some little tips off of that and I put them in my posts. It's just a little bit extra that you can utilize as well. Coaches. So we have the Team AIM University Basics training that Chris had developed for all of us to have. That way we could do it at our own pace, as well as when you get a new coach, you send them the link, right? So I put the link in here, as well as it's in the file section of our team page. Has everybody on the call done the university training? How about you, Jill? Good, okay. So the basics training is really one of the first things that we can give our coaches that are new, a way to kind of get involved and understand what we do as coaches. Oh, thank you, Kelsey, for all of those posts, all those different apps. Sorry, I just saw that. It was like hiding in the corner. In the Team AIM page, we also have new coach onboarding checklists in the files, and for us as the coach leading and mentoring the other coach, we have a checklist as well to be sure that they're following specific steps. So if you don't know that those are in there, whoop, whoop, this is something new for you. So utilize them. Utilize what we've created because it works. It helps to be sure that this is successful for everybody. The Team Beachbody 401 page is a great resource where the National Wake Up Call is being posted in live now. What I do and what I've been doing is sharing that National Wake Up Call and putting it into my team page for my personally sponsored coaches so that they can see it and it's in their face and they don't have to think twice and go find it. That's a great way to be sure that we're watching those National Wake Up Calls and learning from the best of the best in this business. The BAT is the Business Activity Tracker. That is in the process of changing, which is exciting. But even the one that's in there now is different than the one that I started with. The one that I started with was all too many words. Now it's nice and pretty and has little graphic and arts and all sorts of fun stuff on there. But it's a way to track what you're doing, guys. If you're not utilizing a notebook, if you're not utilizing a system, that is a great way. Share a cart, again, something that we should all be utilizing. And if you have questions about Share a Cart, there are some videos on how to use it. And then Emerald City webinars. I have every Monday right now until the end of the year, we've planned 7:30 to 8. You can have new coaches hop on there. It's a great way to understand and realize what the next level in this business is. And the more that we can create these types of webinars and in trainings, the better we're going to be and more successful as a team. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let me just be sure I did. Yeah. Okay. So here's my example of my day-to-day and how I'm utilizing the tools that we've talked about today. So this is new. This is new for me. I haven't been doing this 7-day invite follow-up process for long. Chris posted it at the beginning of October and I was like, oh my God, this is gold. It just gives me an outline in reaching for more. So for example, Sunday is my day one. I look back at last week's posts that I had posted throughout the week and I just pulled off all of the names of people that liked it, commented it, watched my stories. I probably didn't do nearly enough that I could have. I mean, I have a lot of people watching my stories, and I'm not connecting with all of them at all times, but I took those names and I created lists of just people, tons of people, right? Names of people. So my goal every day is to be sure that I'm posting 1 to 3 times a day on all social media platforms. Again, that's the opening my arms, opening my doors to business. And if I'm not doing that, it might not be creating the sense of urgency or connection. So again, I take all of those that have liked and commented and message those people. So I'm gonna just show you. And this is my example of what's working for me. And who knows, in a couple weeks it might not work for me. But here's my day 1 list from 2 weeks ago, and it just has names on it. That's it. And I have my own little system with my highlighters and numbers and such to be able to track who I'm talking to and when. But filling these lists that are in my notebook, again, days 1 through 7 at the beginning of the week. And I follow up when the system tells me to. So in here, it's showing you exactly day 1, day 2, day 3. And the follow-ups are there. So on day 3, which is for me, Tuesday, I have to follow up with days 1 and 2, which is 40 follow-ups, 40 plus, because I'm sending so many messages out. But it's creating this intentional system in my business to make me want to sit down and actually like open my inbox rather than like the dreadful like typing out and not knowing who's going to respond, and there's no drive behind it. I'm inviting them to the groups as the time happens. So for right now, I'm inviting for next week's free group. And once that free group starts, I'm going to start inviting for my December group. So it's this rotation of events. I've already created all of my events throughout the next 2 months in Facebook. And so all I have to do is invite to them, right? Invite and send the message, invite and send the message. So those people that are on my list, I'm creating a note card for each of those people I'm talking to, and I write little notes as I go. And I'm able to file them accordingly. Hey, I talked to 20 people today. I'm going to put it in my 24-hour follow-up. Tomorrow, if I follow up with the 24, great. And then I can move it to the 72 if they ghost me. And it just, this cycling process, it just keeps happening. And so it's working for me now. It might not work for me tomorrow. It might not work for me in a week, but it's working now. So you've got to find what's working for you. 1 second. This next little slide shows exactly what I mean by that. So take what you like and leave the rest. And really that pertains to all of this. So everything in this slideshow and everything that I talked about tonight is not going to work for everybody. And it's not all going to work for you at one time. You have to kind of experiment and trial and error, honestly, because, you know, if you don't try, you don't know if it works, and you have to try for a couple of days. Don't just try one day and say, oh, this isn't working. I didn't reach Success Club in a day. That's not the goal. But the goal is to create a process and a daily method of operation to be able to be successful. And so in this slideshow, it gives you all of the tools that can help you be successful. You just have to implement where they're going to be and what's going to work for you. So let me stop sharing real quick. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of people on here. More people than I saw. So from that, I know that we kind of like, I had each little slide to be, you know, our 5 vital behaviors, so that you understood where those tools fall into place. And if you're not implementing them and using them, how you can see your business not going in the direction that you had hoped it be. I could just like open this up for questions, discussion. I'm interested to know what Denise is eating for dinner right now.
At this late hour.
All right, Nick just said, when you message people, what do you say? So it varies from person to person. I mean, if I have somebody that liked a post last week, all I could simply say is, hey, thank you so much for liking and following my life, my crazy life, or that post last week, and I can kind of talk about exactly what the post was so I can remind them. And I say, how the heck are you? Or where are you from? Or if it's somebody that I do know, I can say, oh my gosh, it's been so long. How are things going, right? So it's just opening up the doors for conversation and creating the relationship. We're not salespeople, and that's not what we want to be. We're not going to be attacking anybody with this opportunity, but we want to just talk to them.
I think, Nick, I'm really glad you asked this question because I'm seeing this more and more with so many coaches that you guys are really struggling with this. And I'm really proud of Chad, Amanda, Sayla. You guys have all sent your messages to me. Like, this is what the person said. What do I say next? And you send me your screenshots. I don't know if it's been helpful or not, but please, you guys, keep doing that. Just send, if you're stuck and you're like, I don't know how to respond, if this person, either said no to me or I don't know the next step, then message me, because I think this is the biggest fear and downfall in a lot of people's business is they can't move forward because they don't know what to say and they're afraid to say something, afraid to say the wrong thing, or they push the business too much and they jump to something before you, and what Olivia said is before you're building the relationship. Your follow-ups, you guys, are as simple as, how are you? Like, half of my follow-ups today were, how are you doing? Just checking in or follow up. Did you see my invite? Did you look at the invite? Did you have any questions? Oh my God, I saw your pictures of your kids for Halloween. How was your weekend? Like, it's simple things, you guys. I know it takes time, but that's how this business works. You've got to put the time in. And when you start reading a lot of personal development, that's the stuff you're going to hear. Any questions on that, you guys? Kels, do you have a question?
No, I don't have a question. Olivia, that was super helpful. I think that just like reiterating all of that is really important. And I'm reading The Slight Edge and it just keeps coming back, and it's really seriously just the compound effect. You have to do this stuff every single day. You have to have conversations with people every single day for your business to grow. And I just don't overthink it. Just talk to people. If you see a picture of them, they're hanging out with their dog, comment on it or message them. Don't overthink it. It's not, the first initial conversation should never be about Beachbody unless they're asking you about it. But even then, I try to change the subject until it's more. You need to create more. We've all got messages from people where they're like, hey, looked at your page. I really think you'd be good at this. And you're so turned off because they didn't even bother to get to know you and they're trying to sell you something. So don't be that person. That's my feedback. Because I've gotten a lot of messages like that recently.
Just a fair warning, under almost 4-minute countdown.
I wanted to share one thing I did. I've been making a list of people that are following my Instagram story. And I sent this message to one girl, and I just said, hey, Annie, how are you? I wanted to thank you for showing interest in my Instagram story. I hope you find them helpful and motivating. How is everything with you? I was like, all right, maybe she'll respond. She goes, hey, Denise, I'm doing good. Yes, I love seeing your Instagram stories, and I do find them very motivating. I was wondering if you were a coach for 2B Mindset for Beachbody, because I do want to sign up for the program. I'm just like, oh my God. So of course I send her a message. We've been emailing back and forth before. Nothing. Crickets. It's so weird. But it's like, you know what? I'll just keep following up again. But something like that works.
Is it someone you know or just someone that started?
She was a company lead from a couple of years ago.
Do you have her email, her phone number?
She lives in Vegas, and that's how we've connected before, was an email. So then she didn't respond to the Instagram. So then I said, well, I'll email her.
Okay, good.
That's how we communicated before. And then she's not answering the email. It's like, why do people do that? And then they don't respond. But I was just like, oh my God, it actually worked. She responded and she wants to do 2B Mindset. It was so funny.
But this is the thing, you guys, what Denise is saying, she didn't respond. So you don't wait a week, 2 weeks, a month for her to respond. You follow up in 2 days, and then another 2 days, and maybe another week, and you keep following up. And because sometimes that person, their life just gets in the way. So don't take that as a no because they don't respond. I know you guys freeze and you're like, oh, they don't respond, so forget it. And then you get disappointed because Denise gets so excited. Oh my God, this girl wants to be mindset. And then you're like, oh, why didn't they follow up? I thought they're going to sign up tonight. Well, it's not the way it happens, you guys.
Yeah.
And it's, oh, I got to wait for my check. I got to wait to get paid. And oh no, the hot water heater just broke. Now I can't do it. Like, you got to keep staying on them so that they, at some point when they're ready, they're going to come to you.
Right. Yeah, it was funny. It's like, how do you not know? I'm always writing to be approved meals and showing them. And it's like, it's so funny. Like, you just think people know, but they don't necessarily know, So just wanted to share that.
2-minute countdown.
Ah,
I know, it makes you like really anxious.
I know. I hate it.
Thank you, Olivia, for stepping up and doing that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Very good, honey.
Awesome job for what I saw.
I'll post the posting in the page. Have a good night, everybody.
Hey, Shauna.
Oh, we love you too, Brian. You're so cute. Bye, guys.